So for this first question, because it's a bunch of fractions being added together, I want to look for the lowest common multiple of all of my denominators. So I'm looking for what 2, 5, and 3 all multiply into. The smallest number here is 30. So I want to multiply everything in this fraction by 30. I'm going to have 30 times x over 2 plus 30 times x over 5 equals 30 times 2/3. So then I want to go ahead and actually simplify this out. 30 divided by 2 is going to give me 15x. 30 divided by 5 gets me 6x. And then on the right side, I have 30 divided by 3, which is 10. 10 times 2 is 20. I could have also done 30 times 2 to get 60 and divided by 3 to get 20. Now I want to go ahead and combine like terms. This is going to get me 21x equals 20. And I want to go ahead and divide both sides by 21. Since this doesn't come out nicely, I just am going to leave this as a fraction. Number 2 says the Mars Spirit rover landed on January 3rd, 2004. Just over 1 year later, on January 14th, 2005, the Huygens probe landed on Titan, one of Saturn's moons. At their closest approach from Earth to Saturn, the distance from Earth to Saturn is 29 million miles more than 21 times the distance from Earth to Mars. If the distance from Saturn is 743 million miles, what is the distance to Mars? So I know this is going to be 743, and it told me it's 29 more, so more means add, 21 times the distance from Earth to Mars. So x is the distance from Earth to Mars. This is just a linear equation. I want to go ahead and subtract 29 on both sides. That's going to give me 714 equals 21x. Then I want to go ahead and divide both sides by 21. And I get x equals 34 million miles. I want to remember my units on number 2. Number 3 tells me that the Apple iPhone has proven to be one of the most successful technologies launched in recent years. The cumulative sales total for the iPhone is shown in the table beginning with the first quarter of 2009. And then it wants me to use the data to determine whether the association is strong, weak, or moderate. So I want to type this into my calculator. I'm going to go to Stat, Edit. I want to clear out any of my lists if I have something. I arrow up to my list name, press clear, and then arrow down. So arrow up to the name, clear, press down. And then I want to enter all of my X values. And then I want to type in all of my sales. Then I go second mode to go back home. I press Stat again. This time I arrow over to Calc. I want to do a linear regression, which is choice 4. I arrow all the way down to Calculate and press Enter. And it gives me these values. If I am on question A, strong, moderate, or weak is looking at my R value. It is greater than 0.75, so this is strong. B is asking if it's positive or negative. My R value is positive, so this is positive. C wants the regression equation, so this is where I'm plugging in. I want to round to 2 decimal places. I'm going to have y equals 6.83, because that second 8 is making that round. Then I have my x plus 8.87. D wants me to use the regression equation to predict the number of cumulative sales in the 40th quarter. So x is going to be 40. So I have y equals 6.83 times 40 plus 8.87. So if I clear out, I can do 6.83 times 40 plus 8.87, which gives me 282.07. Remember, this is measuring sales, so this is money in millions of dollars. on the back, I want to use a graphing calculator to approximate the zeros of this equation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to y equals, clear out any equations I have there, and then type this one in. So I have 6x cubed minus, oh, I want to get out of my exponent, minus 41x squared plus 26x plus 24. Then I'm going to go ahead and graph. Okay. Zeros are where it's crossing the x-axis, so I'm going to go second trace, and I want to find my 0. I want to go to the left side of my first 0. So this black dot is on the left side. I'm going to press enter. I want to arrow over until I cross the x-axis, so the horizontal line. I've crossed it. I press enter twice, and this gives me negative 0.5. Then I'm going to do this again for the one in the middle. So I'm going to go second trace, 0. Arrow over until I'm on the right side of that 0. I am. I press enter. Arrow till I'm on the left. Press enter twice. This gets me 1.33. Then I'm going to do the same thing for my third 0. I'm going to go second trace, trace 2. Arrow over until I'm on the left side. Okay, so I actually don't see this one on the calculator screen, but I can tell I'm on the left side because of the negative value. I'm going to press enter, and then I'm going to press until it's positive, and then I press enter again. This one is at x equals 6. The next equation wants me to find the intersection of the graphs of 2y equals 5x plus 2 and negative 4x plus 7, or equals 17 minus 16y. So for these, I want to solve for y. First one, I just divide by 2. I get y equals 5/2 x plus 1. On my second equation, I want to subtract 17 on both sides. So it's going to give me negative 4x minus 17 equals negative 6y. Then I want to go ahead and divide everything by negative 6. It's going to get me positive 2/3 x, positive 17/6 equals y. I'm going to write this over here. Then I want to go ahead and type these in. So I clear out my old equations. I have 5/2 x plus 1, and then 2/3 x plus 17/6. I want to graph these two. And they are only crossing once, so I'm going to go second trace. This time I'm looking for their intersection, so I press 5. I press enter 3 times, once to select the blue line, once to select the red line, and then once just to guess. It gives me the intersection at 1, 3.5.